Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be returning to our new series looking at Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is actually our second part of our look at the Summer of 1861 campaign. It's the newest campaign that's been released so far for Grand Tactician, the Civil War, which is a game that is currently in early access. It is a game that allows you to play through the American Civil War from either the Union or the Confederate side in both a grand strategy element with this grand strategy map here that you see, or the tactical battles. So you basically build your armies, manage the politics, move your units, and assign your commanders around on a map, and then when two armies collide, you move down to a tactical level battle and fight the battle on a tactical scale. It is July 8th of 1861. The war has just begun in the summer campaign. The Army of Northern Virginia, which is actually a Union Army, or I guess the Northeastern Virginia, the Army of Northeastern Virginia, under Irwin McDowell, 51,000, or I guess 31,000 strong, just fought a battle near Alexandria, defeating the Army of the Potomac, which is the Confederate Army under under P.G.T. Beauregard. And we are going to continue driving it south with an attempt to drive as far as Richmond, which likely will lead to several more engagements, but the enemy army is about half of our size, so if we keep winning these battles and inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy, unless the AI raises new troops, we should be able to get into Richmond relatively quickly. Meanwhile, the army of the Department of Pennsylvania under Major General Robert Patterson has about 18,000 soldiers and is driving south against the Army of the Shenandoah under General Joseph E. Johnston. And that army is currently sitting in place. Now, if the Confederates are smart, they'll rail it east as they did historically and use it to gang up on Irwin McDowell's force. But they haven't done that yet, and our force is moving ever so slowly south into the valley under Patterson, while Irwin McDowell's force will continue to move south. Now, one thing I'm not 100% sure on, because I haven't played this game a ton, but the game tells us we have 99% ammunition supply, or 100% ammunition supply. It tells us we have 99% provisions, and it tells us we have 99% forage, which should mean we're good with all of our supply there, but then it's also telling us we have a 0% supply. I get tooltips over provisions and forage. I don't get tooltips over supplies, so I'm not sure if we're being penalized for like a lack of supply or not. It doesn't seem like it, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if that means we just haven't established like wagon trains, or we're not on like a rail line, or what that is. But given that the provisions and the forage still say 99%, I'm going to keep marching this army south in the effort to engage with the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to march south toward Manassas with the Army of Northeastern Virginia. Oh my goodness. And we'll probably collide with the Army of the Potomac yet again. We're not going to do a forced march. We're not going to move at a time. We're just going to issue the orders. We should be underway here very soon. Meanwhile, the Department of Pennsylvania under Robert Patterson should be moving ever so slowly, marching itself south as well. Likewise, they say they have 0 supplies, but they also have 100% provisions and forage, so we'll see what that is. Meanwhile, Gin Pickled Yak, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate it, dude. Anybody who subscribes or supports the channel, I really do appreciate it. It does help a lot. All right, especially since I think I'm going to be needing to get a new computer soon. Unfortunately, I think that's the reality. Meanwhile, we have some militia here under Major General Benjamin Kelly up here, about 1,000 men. I'm going to move them south to Grafton, Virginia here in West Virginia. And then I'm going to move George B. McClellan's Army of Occupation that is currently in Grafton, Virginia. And I'm going to drive them south to try and engage the Army of the Southwest. Down here. So we've got about 7,000 men under McClellan. We're going to try and march down here toward Beverly and engage the Confederate Army of the Northwest with about 1,300 troops and 8 guns as we attempt to evict the Confederates out of West Virginia. I'd like to take that town, and then I think we'll swing south and maybe split the force in half with moving toward Lynchburg, and then moving Lewisburg, and then moving half the troops toward Charleston, Virginia, and half toward Lynchburg, Virginia, to try and take the western portion. Actually, not even the western portion. Lynchburg would be way south. That's close to Appomattox Courthouse. So I think we'll march on Beverly, and then we'll swing west toward Charleston to try and get the western portion of the state liberated and to join to the army. Nice. I do love war games, just like you, and I love the Brewers as well. I'm a big Brewers fan, so good to have another one in the chat there, Gin Pickled Yak. All right, so I also need to do a few other things before we get into our next fight. I think what we're going to do first is I do have some troops that are in Springfield, Missouri, potentially a little bit vulnerable to the Confederates, way far in advance. The Missouri State Guard is down here. I want to increase the size of the army of the West under Nathaniel Lyon. So, whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. So I want to go ahead. Oh, God. Not what I meant to do. Let's get back over here. Nice, Red Foreman. You've got a ball signed by the 88-89 Brewers. That's pretty sweet. I don't have anything like that. I did meet Bud Selig at a party once. Actually, his daughter, too, back when she was the owner. I was like 12 or 13. All right. I remember, I think it was Steve Sparks. I was a huge fan of Steve Sparks. Or maybe it was, could it have been Scott? Was it Scott Carl? Or there was a Steve Sparks and there was another guy. I can't remember the name of the pitcher, but I was a big fan of one of them. And I was adamant that they needed to re-sign him, and I'm like a 12 or 13-year-old, but I start talking to him, to his daughter, who was the owner of the team, and I'm like, you have to re-sign this guy, blah, 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 blah. And then they told me that they had actually just signed him to an extension, and it would be like in the news tomorrow or something, and that was true. So that was kind of cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull the Army of the West under Nathaniel Lyons up. He has 2 divisions in it, the 1st and the 2nd Division. The 1st Division is under Julius Wraith. The 2nd Division is under Hobart Ward. The 1st Division has 2 brigades, the 1st and the 4th Brigade. It also has the Missouri Light Artillery. And the 2nd Division has the 2nd Brigade under it. Now, these are all 3-month troops, actually, so this does remind me why I hadn't extended the forces at all, is I want longer-term troops. 3-month infantry is not going to serve my needs. I need troops that are at least going to be around for a year. So we'll hold off on doing that. We've already issued the political orders to increase our enlistment terms to 12 months, the Militia Act 2. We're just waiting for that to go into effect. So that might be a few days, and then we should be able to start raising those troops. And at that point, I'm also going to start raising troops north of Kentucky and Ohio. We'll start building an army of Ohio there so that we can begin the conquest of sort of the center of the Confederacy as well. But for now, we'll leave that as is. We'll let McClellan and McDowell do their jobs in Virginia, and we'll see what comes of that. So we'll go ahead and unpause here. It is 1900 hours on the 8th of July, so we'll see these armies in action here as they continue to move south. They're probably in camp right now at night, but I am fighting for Uncle Sam Devonta with the old Irish Brigade. U.S. Air Force retired? Nice. Yeah, games in person are pretty special. Hopefully we have some of those next year. Okay. So we're just kind of waiting. I do hear the tramp, tramp, tramp of the soldiers. We may have another battle again tomorrow if these men get moving here. The Department of Pennsylvania, Patterson is not very aggressive, it doesn't seem. Let's move up to ×2. Thank you for the follow there, Rotten Scotty. Hope you're not feeling too rotten today. Hardy har. You tend to forget what comes up, they gone. Alright, is he marching now that it's daylight? Okay, it looks like his troops are moving slowly. And they're 100% in supply, so that's good. The supply number's up to 100% both for McDowell and for Patterson. Meanwhile, the Confederate troops look like they're marching as well. Looks like they're marching, I can't really tell where. But they may be marching south to avoid me? As my troops head south. Lake, thank you for the follow. They gone, thank you for the sub. Oh, is that what you forget? Subbing with your free Amazon Prime sub? Well, that is appreciated, dude. You definitely don't have to give me your free money, but I appreciate when you do. All right, meanwhile, McClellan is moving south. The militia, wow, they got there fast. They must have jumped on trains or something. All right, militia, I want you to go to, no, cancel those orders. Militia, I want you to go to Grafton itself. Right now, it looks like you're a little bit outside Grafton. Meanwhile, McClellan is marching deep into the heart of West Virginia. God, Patterson, you're so freaking slow. Looks like the Army of the Shenandoah is... They've left Winchester. They're in camp already? Oh, I guess it's 2,100 hours. When are we going to get the little announcement that I've unlocked my my next policy here? It still has the time thing going by it, which means it's not actually implemented yet for the 12-month recruits. How long does that take? Meanwhile, the Army of Northern Virginia made it about halfway to Manassas last night. So we'll see if they get there tomorrow. Wife got the prime for shipping and movies, so I get the free sub. Well, it is appreciated, dude. Well, I appreciate it, Lake. You know, the follows are nice, but if you enjoy the streams and you watch, whether you technically follow me or not, it's all good. All right, so it should be, it's 6 o'clock again. I wonder if this, if Patterson's absolute lackadaisical progress is reflected in due to like him being a crap-ass commander. He's infamous. His initiative is passive, so that could be why his troops are so freaking slow. Meanwhile, like Irwin McDowell here, he's making good progress. Looks like he's also on the train. I don't know if I'd recommend taking a train in hostile enemy country, but it looks like he'll make it to Manassas today. Meanwhile, the Army of the Potomac is marching west toward the Shenandoah. I could march south directly on Richmond. That would open up the path to Richmond. Feels a little bit dicey that that PGT would get away with that. On the flip side of that, however, it would leave an army in my rear potentially. Oh my God, Patterson, could you be any slower? All right, still 100% supply for both of these armies. I'm really curious. My understanding, and based off some discussions with the devs, is that when you go into the economy screen, goods and trade, and you go to you look at like artillery ammunition, or you look at artillery pieces, you can see here the demand is 12.7 per pieces, I guess, of artillery ammo. We're producing 21.7. We've got 16,000 in stock. This will get used up as you fight battles. Units will expend supply, and when they draw from supply, it will actually pull out of what's in stock. And so, in theory, like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I would guess in theory, if you fight at a high enough tempo, maybe you could burn through your ammunition. Maybe. I don't really know the details of the ins and outs of how that works, but that is what is supposed to happen. My corps has reached its objective, the West Virginia Militia. Okay. Oh, shit. What was that newspaper? I didn't see what it said. Is there any way to go back to the newspaper? God, this music's a little bit loud. It's in my ear. I'm gonna turn it down here. Is it okay for you guys, actually? Maybe I'll just turn it down on my board. It just seems a little bit overpowering in my ear. Sounds fine on your end? Smidge lower? Let's just adjust this a tad. Where do I go for that? All right. Okay. Yeah, maybe he is on the laudanum. It's been 3 days of marching and he's still not across the damn river. Have they moved? I mean, in theory, it looks like they do start to march during the day, but I haven't seen them move. God damn you, Patterson. Meanwhile, the Army of Northeastern Virginia is at Manassas. This is the problem now. So what do I do? Do I march south toward Richmond? Which, by the way, or I guess this is actually Fredericksburg. And it's claiming that the bridge at Fredericksburg is Union territory. I think they need to do a better job of understanding who occupies terrain, because it's claiming Fredericksburg is Union as well, but I don't have any troops down this way, so It seems like my influence is causing areas to turn Union that shouldn't be. Now, in theory, that'll cut the Confederates off from supply. I guess they could have some coming up the roads this way, from the south through the valley. Meanwhile, how are our other armies doing here? The Army of Occupation under McClellan is making slow but decent progress on the Army of the Northwest. What about Nathaniel Lyon's army in West Virginia? How's he doing? Wait, do we have a force at Columbus? Or, no, they're just mills and shit. I don't see any Confederate armies out this way, so that's good news. Looks like Kentucky's neutrality is still being respected. Missouri State Guard is still supposedly south here. Nathaniel Lyons. You know, dude, you should really get down to Springfield. There's no reason to be like hanging out in the wilderness up here. Not that I want you to engage. I don't, but all right, let's take a look here. What's our did anything change with our policies? It doesn't look like it. So we're still waiting on the 12-month Militia Act. Okay. Go west and destroy that Reb Arby? No, I know my speed's paused, Jen. I was just checking on stuff while it was paused. But it is July 10th, so we have progressed 2 days since the start of the stream. I don't know what to do with the Army of Northeastern Virginia. I could pursue the Army of the Potomac West and try and destroy the Rebs, but then I also, in theory, leave Washington open to attack. I guess we'll give it 1 day. The Army of Northeastern Virginia can pause for 1 day at Manassas. We'll see if the Department of Pennsylvania makes any progress, and then we'll go from there. It'll be fine. Washington's been burned before. Played patty cake while marching down the Patterson. The patty cake Patterson. Fight so slow. Patty cake with ladies and lels. Patty cake Patterson. Okay. Am I saying Peterson? Am I pronouncing it wrong? I thought I said Patterson. I could be wrong. Or are you just making fun of him being slow? Union call for volunteers. 12-month contracts. Hell yes. All right. This is what I wanted. So the 12-month contracts have been initiated. So now I can actually start raising some more troops. I'm going to go ahead and pause that. We're going to go west. We're going to go west, my lads. West. And we are going to reinforce the army under Nathaniel Lyon. By the way, do we have ships blocking St. Louis from the enemy? We got one. Do we have any ships at Cairo? Cairo? It claims that Cairo is in Confederate hands. This is silly. Why would Cairo be in Confederate hands? Okay, first things first. River Squadron has 1 ship in it. I need to build more ships. So, are we building any new ships at the moment? Like, these are all sloops of war. Do we have any gunboats? I don't really see any gunboats. I don't want to create a new fleet. I want a new ship. This is... Alright. So... Let's see here. Hey, SEO. They fixed those bugger war? I couldn't speak to that. Let's construct some new ships. So I want a tin-clad gunboat. Give me a tin-clad gunboat. I can't build it here, I guess. I need a shipyard, probably. So, is this guy not in St. Louis? Where are the damn shipyards? Where do I... Maybe we create a new fleet. And we'll do it... We can do it in Milwaukee. But we're not going to do that. Why is St. Louis not on here, huh? Sort by state? Port level, maybe? This is all on the West Coast. This is not... Or East Coast, sorry. Okay, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Ohio. I mean, I guess we could make it in Cincinnati. It's a level 1 port in Cincinnati. Otherwise, Missouri, St. Joseph, St. Louis Harbor. Here it is. All right. So we'll raise a fleet here, build a fleet. And then I want to go ahead and... Didn't I just... Whatever. Construct a new ship. No, that's a fleet. My bad. Construct a new ship. Why are these red? Can I build a gunboat at least? I can build a gunboat. Required port level 1. Maybe I don't have tinclads researched yet. They're red, so it doesn't look like there's something I'm allowed to build yet. So I guess we can just build a river gunboat. Ship tender gunboat. Alright, so let's build this. It's going to take... I don't know how long it's going to take. It's a medium-sized gunboat. So we're going to build a gunboat here. Let's build a couple of them, right? So we're going to build... I don't know how many. Four gunboats, maybe? That'll go with our fourth-rate steamer that's already at St. Louis. I'm not going to take the river, but I want to make sure I at least am able to defend the river. So we'll build 4 of them. They're going to be $133,000 each, I believe it is. The USS Chikura, the Chippewa, the Cayuga, and the Aroostook. So these guys are all going to be built. They're all 5-gun gunboats. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take. I didn't look at the construction length, but it's you can see they're 1% completed. It also does... It claims that these ships are in harbor. Sidewheel frigate? I don't believe there's a sidewheel frigate in St. Louis. Can I just drag them over? No? Huh. Yeah, I don't really understand how this doesn't... It's not very straightforward in terms of... It says these ships are in harbor, but where? Doesn't tell me. If it is in St. Louis Harbor, then... Great. It also doesn't look like it lets me just drag and drop them into that port. So... Why is Maryland checked here? Yeah. Not sure. Where's this squadron? So I can put these guys in a squadron? I don't even know where this squadron is. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, the USS Roanoke Island, a second-rate steamer. USS Michigan, a fourth-rate steamer. A sloop of war. Why that would be in St. Louis, I don't know. I'm only picking ships that say they're at 100%, which I'm assuming means they're at like 100% capacity. We're going to send them down to Cairo, Illinois, to try and make sure that the Confederates aren't possessing any... A 40-gun... Steam frigate, really, on the river? In St. Louis? Really? You know, whatevs, I guess. Meanwhile, the USS... Alright, so come on. Let me drag. Can I not put any more ships in that squadron? Doesn't wanna let me drag it. Whatever. Alright, let's close this window and see where that squadron is. So the Mississippi River Squadron. Where's that other squadron I just... Hoff's squadron is where? It is in St. Louis. Interesting. Commander Henry Hoff. 7 ships. Says he has 0 guns, but that doesn't match. We're going to send him down to Cairo, Illinois. Just to repossess these areas along the coast. The GUI could use some improvements still. It's a little bit laggy in some respects. Also, some of the stuff isn't super clear still. Okay, that is not what I wanted to pull up. I don't want the fort garrisons. Alright, Army of the West. So now that we can raise new troops, let's do it. And we can raise troops that are going to be around for at least 12 months. So now we're going to go ahead and build the Army of the West out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and build some Missouri troops. It looks like we've got 5,700 volunteers that we can choose from with the Missouri troops. We can build a brigade of... I don't want 3-month troops. That's not what I want. Don't give me the 3-month troops. Maybe I gotta wait for the rest of the day. I think sometimes those changes in policy take a day to unfold. So we'll wait till tomorrow and we'll see what happens here. Thank you for the bits there, Bizarre Andrew. Appreciate the support. 500 bits. It's quite generous. All right, what's this? Hoff at destination. Is he, though? Whoa, he is. He got down there quick. How about you take the port, dude? I know you don't have any troops with you, but... What is your stance? Offensive? Defensive? Fleet orders. I guess blockade. Why does it say Cairo is not blockaded? If we're blockading right there. And it has not been at sea for 999 days. That's absurd. The conditions are barely afloat. What? How are you barely afloat? That doesn't make any sense. And how's your max speed? 9,000. You know, why don't you just return to St. Louis? Because you don't seem to be in good shape. Also, they're sailing ships only? What? Okay. Is he back at destination? Now he's back up in St. Louis. This feels bugged. Where? Return to port. Where are they going? Oh my god, they're gonna go... You can't get there! He wants to return all the way back to DC? What? Yeah, good luck with that. Well, I guess we'll see what happens with that group. Are we to the next day yet? Alright, so it's the 12th. Yeah, SEO, these definitely seem like they're kind of messed up bugs. Nothing will stop them. Maybe. I guess we'll see. All right, let's pull up the army here. Can we raise some new troops that are not 3-month troops? Let's go with some Missouri troops. Good. We've got 12-month troops out of Missouri. We'll do a 3,000-man infantry brigade. We'll give them a nice red coat. There'll be some red-coated Missourians, or maybe we should give them some green. No, we'll just go with light blue. Light blue coats. They're going to be volunteers. We can't draft anybody yet. And they're going to be 12-month troops. So we'll raise them. They'll be the 2nd Brigade in this army. We already have 2 infantry brigades in the 1st division, so they'll fill out the 2nd division. Then we're also going to raise a artillery battery here of some Missouri troops as well. So let's pick some artillery units. 12-month troops. We'll keep those uniforms unchanged, I guess. 350 troops. And so we're going to raise 12-pound Napoleon troopers. They're brass Napoleons by the look of it. So we'll have 2 filled-out divisions here. The 3,000 troops will give him quite a bit of strength here. And I think that'll be good enough for him at the moment. If we get those new troops in, we'll have what? We've got 2,900 men here, so about 4,200 men in that division. We'll have about 4,100 men in that division, so we'll have just shy of 10,000 soldiers. I think that's good enough for the Army of the West right now at this stage of the war, and we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, we'll see if those ships sail through land. How that'll all work out. Meanwhile, it looks like the Army of the Shenandoah and the Army of the Potomac both have moved west. Do we want to try and engage them in one big battle? Patterson is just not moving at all, it doesn't seem like. Move more aggressively, dude. Your stance is offensive. Maybe I'll just, I'm going to order him to force march. Let's see if that makes him move any more quickly. I'm just going to sit in place because I suck, Patterson. I'd like to crush these 2 armies between the anvil of Patterson and of McDowell, but at this rate, Patterson isn't going to move. Patty cake. I could fire him, Devonta. That seems like maybe the sound move, but it feels like maybe a little premature for even Lincoln. He's asking McClellan for more troops. I mean, he might be. I mean, he's just marching in place by the looks of it, right? Like, he's not moving. I guess he's moving a little bit. He's inching forward. Oh, good. There, he's moving now. At least I think he is. Let's see if he can get across the river today. Old senile fool, forcefully retire him. Come on, boys. You're not even going to get across the river. Call to arms. 2-year contracts. The Confederacy is setting up 2-year contracts. Okay. Oh my god, I'm going to frickin' lose my mind. Patterson, you're so fucking slow. Meanwhile, the Army of the Potomac... Or, not the Army of the Potomac. Northeastern Virginia here under McDowell. Doing pretty good. 31,000 men. 1,600 disabled. 42 guns. Hey, they're moving. They're moving, boys. They're moving. Oh, that's because they're on a train. Okay. Well, in that case, let's not leave Patterson out there all by himself. Let's move the Army of Northeastern Virginia in after him. We'll close the gap. Come in behind him. Crush him between 2 forces, then we'll move on Richmond in a leisurely pace. Of course, they're taking the train in the middle of the night, so now they're moving much closer to the Rebs, and they're going to get there before the Army of Northeastern Virginia can, and then they'll be outnumbered. So that's good news. Meanwhile, the Army of Occupation's about halfway down to joining the Army of the Northwest. Actually, it looks like the Army of the Northwest is moving east to evacuate Beverly. Okay, what's going on here? McDowell's at destination? Well, not yet, sir. Patterson, stop your force marching, by the way. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, you're not forced marching anymore? They're being transported. Winchester is now ours! Oh, shit. The Army of the West is engaged with the Missouri State Guard. What are my orders? That's probably before my troops have been raised. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. Not a ton happened here. We were building some armies. We were building some ships. We saw what I think maybe some bugs with regards to how some of the ships were working in St. Louis. And we were trying to get Patterson's army on the go. Sort of a turn in transition, a little bit of a look at the strategy side of things in the game as opposed to the battle side. We'll get into a battle in our next episode, though. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.